Hey y'all, it's Elijah here with Let's Go Esco and welcome to FH JerkGod.
Alright y'all, we're here today talking with the owners of FH JerkGod just to give a behind the scenes and some stuff that you wanted to know. So first off, what inspired the start of FH JerkGod?
Alright, so back in 2010, I was hosting a lot of barbecues at the house. And I did that for about 7 years, and the food was pretty good. We started off cooking nothing but meat, so eventually we added sides, but during our time cooking the meat, people enjoyed it, and around the year 6, 7, we had a food blogger, a popular Chicago food blogger who came over, and it was like, oh, you ever thought about opening up a restaurant? Which I thought about it at the time, but yeah, but not really, because you always hear about the profit margins in restaurants that is real thin. So it took about 3 years of him convincing me to open up. Plus I had friends, one worked at the front end of a restaurant, one worked in the back end, and one worked at the sauce company. They was making like $15 an hour. So I was like, shit, I could bring, I was like, maybe I could pull my talents together and, you know, make a business out of it. Because at the time I was a web developer and I was making good money too, you know what I'm saying? Right. So I wasn't hurt for nothing. I was traveling and doing all this fantastic stuff. But, you know, sometimes we have survivor's remorse because the homie's not coming up like equally where you at. So I'm like, maybe I can bring them along. So I came up with a plan. So at the time I wasn't using my own product. So it took me about 6 months to formulate my marinade, and the other products came rapidly after that because the base product is the marinade. So as soon as I came up with the marinade, came up with the name, which was FH Jerk. So FH is for Fillmore Harvard, which is the block that we grew up on, 12th Avenue between Fillmore and Harvard.
So I didn't know that.
Yeah. Maywood, born and raised, 12th Ward.
Exactly. Shout out to Maywood.
Shout out the guys.
Yeah, so after I came up with the product, you know, I put the plan together, talked to everybody individually, like, man, we could do this, come together. So everybody agreed to play a role in it. And March 1st, 2019, when we started the company, I ended up quitting my job that following April. So since then, I've been doing it full time. We're going on year 6.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so it sounds like it started with the product first and then everything else came afterwards.
Yeah, so in my mind, I'm a purist, right? So I won't want to open up a restaurant using somebody else's product. Right. I feel like if you'll do it, you go do it. Like I know this young lady who has this coffee company, but she don't roast her own beans. I'm like, is it really a coffee company if you ain't roasting your own beans?
Right, it's not complete ownership.
Exactly. So I got in there, made the marinade. So the idea wasn't the product. The idea first was just like, we need our own product to start catering. Because we started off initially as catering. So when we started off, we was rolling, had good clients. This before the pandemic hit. But we had good clients and all that good shit. And so that was about 6 months. Then it started getting shaky, right? So fall time, the catering orders slowed up. But then I realized like why all my guys made such little money, right? Because when the going gets tough, these guys they get shaky and they're just terrible workers, right? They're not disciplined enough to buckle down. They're unfocused, or they're just slow.
I mean, that's good.
I just said,
It's the reality of being a restaurant owner.
Right.
I do understand that.
Yeah. So, you realize why people in certain positions in their life, because they don't do what they have to do to advance. Like, you have to start a restaurant, you have to be disciplined, right? Yeah. Especially starting off. You ain't gonna make no money. First year, I didn't make no money. Second year, if you want to get into it. So the first year we did catering, it got shaky around September, October. In fact, I was engaged when I decided to quit my job and start the company. Wow. So come November, the engagement was called off. You know what I'm saying? And our last conversation was like, I don't understand this entrepreneurial life. I just don't get it. So right there, I had to make a decision because I've always been an entrepreneur. Like whether we selling firecrackers, snacks, or other things, other things on the block. So I always been a natural entrepreneur and everything. Even when I was doing web development, I quit my job and was doing freelance. I was doing camera work, video work. So
I think we all have experience in that, doing some type of freelance.
Yeah. So so we called that off. So I had to make a decision. I could have easily went and got a job, but that would have been, it really would have been unfair to me because I always just wanted to be an entrepreneur. Right. And after going through that situation, that breakup, I understand the steps that it took or it takes to become an entrepreneur because there's a lot of sacrifice. There's a lot of family events I didn't go to, a lot of things that I wanted to do I didn't go to. The homies kicking it. I got to work right. It's just a lot of things that I sacrificed up front now for some of the freedoms I'm getting now.
Exactly. Hard work pays off. That's the main lesson. Hard work does pay off.
No, yes and no.
Yes.
A lot of people work hard, but they run it on a treadmill. They're not running on the actual pavement, right? You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think they got motion because
running in the same spot.
Yeah, a lot of people think they have motion, but they really don't because they running on the treadmill. You ain't advancing. You ain't really putting on miles that you think you putting on. So that's the difference between me and a lot of people. I'm out on the pavement, busting my ass.
And putting in hard work.
Yeah. And I don't like to work hard, to be honest. But that's a different story.
Okay, so it sounds like everybody has pretty interesting backgrounds coming from, the owners of FH Jerk. Can you all introduce yourselves and just tell us a little bit more about you personally, more about how we all ended up to this spot together.
So, I'm going first. Yeah. I'm Cliff Gardner. A little bit about me. I like cars. I like to cook. I like to see things come together. I'm like a problem solver. So I like to solve problems. Like it could be people problems, just any problems at home you have, problems in the kitchen. I like to see stuff progress.
You're proactive.
Sometimes proactive. Got a fat kid. Love my babies. Not just a restaurant owner.
The jack of all trades.
Jack of all trades. Yep. It's a good and a bad thing because I mastered none. Right. Self-learner. I like to learn stuff. I'm a YouTube guy. I don't even watch TV. I watch YouTube all day. And I'm just a person that like to learn. I like to keep learning, and get knowledge that I get into other people.
I hear that. Okay.
Well,
Deontay Richardson, one of the owners of FH JerkGod, the littest one, What I like doing in my free time, fishing, hanging out, being around family, And I started the entrepreneur thing. I tried to open up a party bus. And I tried to do that. I wanted to do it, but I learned that I didn't know the business like that. And then these guys brought me along and they showed me the business. I was letting people like my friends, not pay sometimes because I'm like, we family, we all that. You got to stand on business. Now I'm learning from them, you have to stand on business. Yeah. So, just learning.
Because I always say, if my mama could pay, you can pay.
Yep.
I heard that. You want to give me just another slight introduction of your name?
I go by Big Dog Playboy. So my name is Whitney Gardner. Once was a web developer. No kids. I am the littest one.
Alright, the real littest one.
The real littest one. And shit for the. Shit, that's about it. I have devoted the better part of my later years in life to the entrepreneurship. So that's why I don't have no kids. That's why I ain't got no honey bunnies.
You want to say it again? You want to just say that again?
I ain't on the market though. I ain't know because ain't no money around here. I make a bare bone salad.
And the wallet is closed, y'all.
Absolutely.
Next question.
Absolutely.
All right, so just to get into the nitty gritty, you've opened 2 locations in about under a year, right?
Yes.
So how are you able to grow so fast?
So, back in 2020, we opened our first restaurant, right? So we did the traditional jerk menu, like the bone-in chicken, whole chicken, half chicken, white, all the yams, greens, all that. We had the traditional Chicago jerk menu. But it was during the pandemic. So we opened up January 2020. We had to shut down March 2020 due to the pandemic. But what I realized is that to put a better menu, I put a better menu together, right? So we don't do, at a restaurant, we don't do bone-in chicken outside of wings. Because honestly, if you go to any Caribbean spot that does like a whole chicken, half chicken, they cook their chicken in the morning. And a lot of those restaurants have microwaves. We don't have no microwaves at our restaurant. So they cook it in the morning because to cook a leg quarter, a quarter chicken, it takes about an hour, hour and a half. So if somebody come in there like they want a leg quarter, it literally takes a long time to cook that. That's why a lot of restaurants, they cook their chicken in the daytime. Me personally, I don't like leftovers. And I personally believe like I want to serve my food how I like my food cooked fresh and hot.
I think most people when they come to a restaurant want some fresh hot food.
Yeah, but most people don't. And you gotta kind of calculate when you go to particular restaurants, like if you go too early in the morning, you could be eating sides from yesterday. You go too late, you could be eating old sides. It's just I didn't want to do that. That's why I was able to formulate a menu that was like efficient. Because another thing that a lot of businesses, restaurants, especially black restaurants, they don't think about scalability, right? So when it comes to a restaurant, like how do we grow from one location to two? How did we do it so quickly? Because all our processes, our standard operating procedures is scalable. And that's the key point that I think a lot of restaurants don't have. Like
some you can keep replicating.
Right. But not that. So they don't have nothing proprietary. So if you want to make our chicken, you could literally go to Mariano's and buy our marinade to make our chicken. So we get our marinade made by the bulk. So if we hire any worker, they don't need to know how to make the marinade. We already got it.
Right.
So now we can scale in that sense. A lot of places they have recipes where they don't have nothing proprietary in the recipe that a person will steal. That's why you go to a lot of soul food places. It's one person who making them greens a certain way because they don't want to tell.
And every dish tastes kind of different.
Every dish tastes different. So that's why everything I do is on scalability. So one of the books that I read is if I was recommend any books, it'll be Atomic Habits by James Clear. And it tells you that it's compound interest. It's the little things. Like I was just talking to him about working out. He wanted to do 30 minutes. I said, no, start off with 5 or 10. Then you build on that. It's easy to do 5 minutes than do 30.
Yeah, and then jump into the deep end.
Exactly. Everybody want to jump in the deep end. Like, I'm going to pay my tickets off when I get my tax money. You get your tax money, that shit gone. Yeah. Put a little bit on it. You go build. And a lot of people don't understand that principle. And the other book is the E-Myth. I forgot the author name. It escapes me. But he talk about scalability. Having your standard operating procedures, having a product that can be duplicated. You look at McDonald's, you go to McDonald's in Ireland, in Chicago, in Little Rock, it all tastes the same. But I'm trying to do that on a level where it's good, more so like a Chipotle, give or take. Chipotle, they cook their chicken in-house. You see the grill, right? But it's still scalable.
Exactly. I do understand that. So what would you say, I guess, are some of the biggest drawbacks from expanding your brand so fast? And feel free anybody to answer this one. Because I know growing so fast has a lot of benefits. Of course, the money is like the biggest benefit. But I know there has to be certain drawbacks, like saying opening 2 businesses in a.
Well, I could speak on that. Staff. It's hard to find good staff. It's hard to find people that want to work. It's hard to find people dedicated. It's hard to find people that's going to be on time. And then once you're starting off, we're a small company, so we don't have all this money in reserve or all this staff where we can have somebody come right in. So, we short staff. And at the same time, we starting off and we got to teach these people the procedures.
Right.
So, like, if you're not here to learn, it all fall on one person. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's a drawback in hiring too. Like we've been doing hiring because we want to extend our hours. We want to, add a day. And I had candidates agree to come and then don't even come the first day. So I still work full time and I'm a restaurant owner. So I have to, luckily I work in IT, I can work remotely. I got an office set up, I'm working remotely and I'm coming out here and I got to help because we don't have people. And it's like a it's just bad because it's like we knew, me and my kitchen manager, we know the procedures, but we got to teach it to them, But it's hard, like staffing. It's
a constant rotation of staff.
Yeah, it's a big issue. And even like with bringing the procedures from the old restaurant to the new location, sometimes some of the guys from the old restaurant don't even follow the procedures we had there. So I have to tell them like, well, what was you doing to Washington Park?
Right.
All we doing is taking the concept from Washington Park to here. Don't just because it's a newer kitchen, let's figure it out. And then even figuring the flow out. So our kitchen is set up different there. So some of the things we were doing there, we can't do it that way here. So we got to figure it out on the go. Like, okay, we're not going to do this. We're going to set this up this way so it'll make the food slow down the line faster. But I mean, that's with anything, but that's one of the, it's not really a drawback, but it's the learning curve of your new location.
Right, of expanding. So
expanding. Some stuff will be different. And even like just getting like licenses and all that stuff, you got to go through that process again. Some counties are different; they require different things, and even stuff like working with vendors to get stuff done. Like I'm trying to get our sign replaced. We have 4 different vendors say, "Oh, we're gonna come out and measure it," and don't come out.
Yeah.
So people getting back with quotes and stuff like that. I mean, that's part of the game, but when you open a new location, you kind of excited, like, I want to get it going, and then you got these drawbacks. But that's part of being an entrepreneur. That's part of starting the business. But it makes it even worse when you have a new location, and you're eager to get in there.
True.
And all this stuff adds up.
Things start falling apart, or people don't come.
Yeah, they make you second guess. Like, man, you try to grow too fast, but you didn't. It's just,
Like I said, it's just the learning curve. Learning curve of it all.
Yeah, that's just what it is.
Okay, so with this new location in Bolingbrook, which is a completely different vibe from Chicago, I know, busy city to, more suburban life, how has your business approach changed from, like I said, Chicago to Bolingbrook?
It hasn't really changed. One thing I could say, out here, it's really no competition as far as jerk. So we have a lot of people that come in, they're like, we seen you guys on TikTok. We don't have any jerk out here.
True, I've had somebody say that too.
It's kind of like, it's like less of a fight. It's like we don't have to fight so hard.
That's a better market.
Yeah, I wouldn't say better, we love all of it. Right. But it's a better situation out here. Because in the city, everybody jerking. They jerking everything.
Jerk pizza.
You could go anywhere. It's jerk here. Out here in the Bolingbrook, it's not really any jerking. There's some people like, well, yeah, we got some jerk, but it's not good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so we don't really have to promote as hard. It's just like organically people find us and they come in, Right. So I would say it was a better start to Washington Park. It was a fight. Yeah, it was a fight. A fight was a hard fight. But out here, it's still a fight. It's always going to be a fight. But I think it was just more, it was less competition. So we have more people just coming straight in. And then the good thing is they see the reviews. They see the videos. They like, we heard it was good too. And I want to try this, I try that. And they like it. And some people would thank us, please don't leave. They like, stay. Yeah. And that make us feel good. We just
had somebody approach us outside that was hoping for a plate. And
it makes you feel good. It's like, okay, we bringing y'all the service and y'all appreciate the service. That make me want to work harder for y'all.
Right.
For the community,
Need to say that again. So what social media influencers have you had came by here? I know I am one. And I'm your favorite, but which other people have you had there?
To Bolingbrook or just to
any location?
So we had Cousin Vinny. Shout out Cousin Vinny.
Shout out Cousin Vinny.
He came to Chicago location. That was really. It was. Okay, go ahead.
All right. The social media influencer. So, I wasn't really big on like bringing a social media influencer out. Like I was kind of against it. Right. It took some convincing to bring them out. So we had Jermaine, big funny dude.
Yeah.
We had him come out. So he was the first one came out. He came out on the strip on the love because he knew our cook at the time. So when he came out, he did a couple of videos and posted them. And the videos did well, right? So we had people the next day coming in asking for the lowdown special. That's what they was asking for. They're like, man, no damn lowdown special, but they came in asking for the special, and that kind of perked up because he was telling me, man, let's get Cousin Vinny. So after that success, our numbers went up a little bit. After that success, I was like, all right, come on, let's book him.
There's some type of value in it.
Yeah, so when we initially booked him, he was lower. The first time he sent the link, he was lower, right? I was like, oh, that's reasonable. When he sent the link the second time, that price went up.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. So when we did it, we did the video. When he dropped the video, he dropped it on, I want to say Tuesday or something. So when he dropped the video, the day of, it wasn't really a big turnout, right? The following day, our numbers tripled from what we did.
For 2 months.
For then the 2 months straight. All right, after he dropped the video, and I was like, shit. Like, so we made our money back the first time. Like the next day, we made our money back plus some. You know what I'm saying? So that was a good thing. So we recently had him do a video. He was like, he had hit me up. He was like, yeah, I'm gonna start the rollout for the video. That was like at 8:43 in the morning. The man dropped the video at 8:44. My notifications going off. So the first video we did is at like 670 now. The new video, which been out 3-4 days, is like damn near 700,000 views.
Yeah, just that quick.
And our feet tells the story because from that Thursday, so the day he dropped the second video, we quadrupled that the same day, quadrupled what we did the previous Thursday.
That's beautiful. That's love, right?
So it's power in that.
Power of marketing and influence.
Then that Friday, we did triple. Then that Saturday, we did quadruple. So it's probably gonna be up for a long time because we still getting a lot of notifications now. So the power of social media is real if you get the right person. Like everybody want to get Keith Lee. A lot of people, honestly, if Keith Lee came to a lot of people's restaurant, they won't be able to handle the uptick.
Right.
It'll be too many people. Because the second video we dropped with Cousin Vinny went viral on 3 platforms: Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Yeah. The first one only went viral on Instagram. But this one was viral on three separate social media. And when I say the people been coming, we had an uptick in Chicago and Bolingbrook. Bolingbrook up probably 25%, and they already doing numbers out here. Right. So they probably up like an additional 25%. So it's just getting
off the video.
Just off 15-second video.
Of course, but
So the good food, the food keep them now. Right. The video bring them in.
The food keeps.
Yeah. So you definitely have to invest in the right person. Like I wouldn't get a national influencer. I'll always stick to somebody local who's reachable and you could talk to and you can have a conversation. A lot of people are in it for just the money. Like you like, oh, come check me out. They'll just send you their price sheet. Don't ask no questions, no nothing.
Don't want to show no portfolio
right.
or anything like that. True.
And a lot of them fake, right? They getting paid to say you got good food. But what I appreciate about Cousin Vinny is that if he don't like it, he's not going to post it. Yeah. And he didn't tell anybody that. And he said if I don't like, he don't consider himself a food critic because he say he only gonna post what he like. And that's what I like about that. Most people be posting everything and be like, oh yeah, they got
to gauge.
Right.
Oh, that's true.
Mm-hmm. And I want to add to like social media influence. Like having those type of people come out is good too, but a lot of times just like normal people sharing stuff. I get a lot of older people that come in and say, oh I seen this on Facebook or my daughter shared this and I just want to come try it out. So like the power of just not a normal person, but a person that doesn't
the real influencer.
The real influencer. You know, the people are the real influencer because I get a lot of people that come in that didn't see that person like a Vinny or whatever. But there's like a family member shared, oh, he had that loaded fry, I want this. People will come in with a picture that somebody posts like, hey, I want this loaded fry. Whatever this is, give it to me. You know, so we appreciate those people that sharing and tagging us and all that because it does help.
Okay, that is very true. I see you also do like a lot of catering and private events. So what type of events do you usually cater?
Ones with budgets.
Corporate ones.
I heard that. Have a budget when you book FH Jerk. Okay.
Definitely corporate catering. Like
catering.
I don't know if I should use this reference, but I will use this reference. Selling meals is cool. That's like selling a nickel bag of weed. You do a catering order, it's like selling a kilo. It's like selling a kilo. And you get your money. It's less time. They gonna cut. You gonna drop it off. They gonna pick it up. It's a much easier transaction.
Got you. And how do you go about making those experiences, because that's the money, memorable and enjoyable for you? Because I know sometimes getting a big order like that, it could be overwhelming, or is it?
I mean, I want to speak to this one. I think like when you get a big catering order, for me, it felt like, man, we just did this big catering order, but it's over now, versus like you cooking all these meals. Like when we was at Alivab, when we shut down, we still had catering. Like we was doing catering, we did a huge catering order. I'm like, man, if we get a couple of these catering orders, we really don't have to open. Not saying we wasn't, but it's like, man, you knock it out during the day, you could chill for the rest of the day. If you wouldn't do that, but it's like, man, you make a decent amount in a short time. Yeah, it's harder, but once it's gone, it's gone. Like, man, it adds up.
Right, it do add up unless it's a big bang at one time. You can't beat that. You definitely can't beat that.
But you gotta be ready for it.
It's about preparation, really. Like, so, at one point, when we first started off, I was doing catering orders by myself. And I'm talking about like $1,500 catering orders out of my kitchen. That's another story. But for me, like, I knew exactly when I gotta wake up. I knew what I had to prep the night before. It's just the preparation of it. So
that's the biggest part.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. So even when you have a heavy service, right? If you prepare, it's gonna be much easier because you already prepared. Yeah,
it's true. FH Jerk is also very visible in the community. So can you tell us a little bit more about your community work and the outreach that you've done?
Absolutely. So right here, so we pay a decent wage. So we don't have tip workers. So all the tips that come in, we use that money to we got a Feed the Community initiative, right? So during the holiday season, we do free food to different charities. We also, if anybody is food insecure, they could come into any location and ask for something to eat. We always give out free food. Like, you don't have to be like embarrassed. You just say, yo, do you have something to eat, right? You just come ask, right? So that, like I say, we give back like a lot of ways. There's a lot of stuff we don't talk about because we do it from the kindness of our heart, right? Like, people be homeless, like, take that. Or I was teaming up with this comedian named T. Murph, and we'd have like raffles that after the raffles we'll take prizes. All the money that we raise we'll give back to the community. It's just the partnerships that we kind of forge with other people that we lean into, and they call on us when they need help, right?
Yeah. I say everybody has to help each other.
Yeah,
that's the only way we're gonna stand is if we stand together.
True.
It's true. So why is giving back so important to the brand? Is there a personal significance, or do you just feel like it's the right thing to do?
So for me, giving back is important because we're about community. Like even how we was raised, it was our blog, FH Jerk, like Fillmore Harbor. It was a community thing. So like giving back is like, we wouldn't be nothing without y'all. Y'all come in, y'all buying food from us, so it's important like for somebody to come in like, I got this. All right, take some meals. Go ahead, because we've been blessed to have people come in, so it's important to give back to it. And that's how blessings, you got to pass your blessings on. So, it just feels good to do it,
Yeah, true. It is very true. Speaking of giving back to the community, you touched on it. All your products are in the Mariano's location. You can buy the marinade in the store.
Yeah.
So how did that partnership even happen? How did it come about?
So the formulation of really focusing on the product came about during the pandemic. So the pandemic, the restaurant had to close. We ain't had nothing to, besides reshaping the menu, the only thing was like, let's just focus on the product. But we already had a good product. So during that time, we just had to figure out like the packaging, the nutritional facts, finding co-packers, because initially we hand-packed all the product. So now that was a trial and error. So if we get a big order not even a big order, 8 cases. It was us with blenders.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's us buying all the vegetables and blending it up and mixing it ourselves, cooking it down. So we focus on like so I'm big on scalability. So like how much does it cost me to make it, and how much would it cost if I had a co-packer? And I figured it'll be cheaper it was cheaper with a co-packer. So we did that, we formulated, we got everything down packed, and the guy that we was working with at the time, he had a relationship with Mariano. So he did a June 10th event for them that was successful. And they asked him like, do he have any other products that be good for their shelves? So he made the introduction. So it was like a Shark Tank style. It was a Zoom call, but with the CEO and all the VPs and whatnot. So when I'm pitching the product to them, you know, they on their phones, they looking away, they doing a whole bunch of other things besides like focusing on my presentation. So at the end, I thought we wasn't in. Then we followed up with the lady. She's like, "Oh yeah, I didn't tell you y'all got in." So that's how.
I was already sending text like, "I like this."
They probably wasn't saying that.
They was already like, "Yeah, this a hit. Let's just go."
Yeah, so and that's been a very interesting experience. Like a lot of people want to be in retailers. It's a good and bad, right? So people think because you're in a retailer that you bringing in all this money, and it give your brand legitimacy, right? They're like, "Oh, this is a legit brand." But you don't realize like all the fees that's involved, all the chargebacks, all the people who hand is in your product. Because I tell them all the time, we fighting people for our money, and we gotta fight so many people to keep our money in our pockets. So everybody want to cut. Everybody want to cut, and they want you to have crumbs. Yeah, especially the distributor.
I literally have to pop up on that shit.
Yeah.
NWA, like how Ice Cube did.
Do what
On
he's supposed to
NWA,
do.
yeah, y'all got to cut us a check because something ain't right.
True. That's true. So what would you tell small business owners that are looking to go retail? What would be like the number one piece of advice?
Make sure it's a good situation for them. It sounds good, but make sure. But they probably don't know because they, you don't know going into it. Or consult with somebody.
So maybe do you need a lawyer
or somebody that went through the process?
Nah, you don't need a lawyer. Because the initial contract with the distributor was outlandish. There's all sorts of fees, and like if we lead a contract, we have to pay all sorts of fees. Yeah, definitely have a lawyer. Luckily, the partner I had at the time, his fiance, girlfriend at the time, was a lawyer. So she was a corporate lawyer, big corporate lawyer. She looked at the contract and was able to get a whole bunch of stuff out. But my advice would be like, if you could grow your own brand outside of going to retail. A lot of people want to like have a product and just go straight to retailer. I say focus on the independent side. You'll make way more money. It's like records, the music industry. You with a major, you go get pennies on a dollar. You sell it independently, you go make the bulk of your money, and you can sell less and make more money.
Okay, I think that's different advice than what most people would hear. You're saying to stay more independent.
Oh, absolutely.
Most people push towards to go as retail as fast as possible.
So what it costs us to make the product, we sold to our distributor for double. So we doubled up, which is good. So that's like a 50% margin, which is good on the product. You always want to stay above 30%. But they would sell to the Marianos, whatever, for like additional 20 to 30%. Marianos go mark it up like an additional 40%. See, that's the issue. Now you got to get in Marianos and do your own marketing. You got to do demos. But you doing demos of products that they already paid for.
Right there,
so you're doing free demos. Yeah. So the money that you go pay your people to do demos, you can just focus on your own marketing strategy and grow your own followers.
True.
Like, people don't need a whole production crew to make a movie. You need an iPhone and some determination. Yeah. But yeah.
Like I said, it's the cost and how it weighs out.
Right.
Okay, I do understand that.
Then if you sell it yourself, so you selling it for what you paid, but you still can sell it for retail. Now everybody in between, you making that money.
True. I do get that.
And you can sell directly from TikTok. You can sell directly from Instagram, directly from Facebook.
TikTok shop is amazing. I do know that myself.
Y'all can go to our TikTok and buy our products on there.
Go ahead and get that. So what have just been some of you all just personal favorite moments since you all opened the restaurant?
That's what I would ask.
Your best experience.
Well, it's good and it's bad. I've been learning so much about the business since I joined these guys and we got this thing started. Some of my best moments is the food truck. The food truck. We had the food truck. You can pull up. My uncle owns a barbershop in Maywood. You know, 12. Represent.
Shout out to Naps.
Shout out to Naps. And we can pull up. And now we got all our people that we grew up with, went to high school with. My teacher comes up there. My old 5th and 6th grade teacher. They pull up on us. They supporting us. And man, we can pull up for 4 hours, and we can probably make a decent amount of money in there for the 4 hours. And we on that bonding with the community. Yeah, there's some ladies I miss from the retirement home. Shout out to
y'all.
For me, I think just sitting back and look how far we came.
Yeah.
From the nights, just like, man, what's gonna happen? To like now, look where we at. We started out the kitchen. You know what I'm saying? And just to sit back and just look at it now, like everything that's been, all the plans he said, we did it, and we got to what we was doing. So it's like, man, he thought it out. He had the plan. We went through. We stayed down, and now we here.
Y'all stayed down till y'all came up, and that is beautiful.
Another thing, I just wanted to just come and help out a little bit. I'm thinking, hey, I'ma just help for a little second, you feel me? Things get real. I'm outside just kicking it. I'm drinking, having a good time. Telling people just come to the truck support by Obies. And he pulled me up on the truck. He said, you working now. You want to be a boss or what?
I'm like, all right, that's funny. But we actually kind of I recruited him because I saw what he was doing independently. Of like, a lot of people talk about entrepreneurship. A lot of people ain't putting their money in it. Yeah, when he bought the truck and they started building out the truck, I was like, shit. See, that's the type of people you need on the team. Most people will say they want to do something. They gonna put their own money up. They gonna be too cheap and all this other stuff. Right. Like the truck, shit. I finally got a little money back from the truck. I put all the bread up for the truck, and I was like, "Fuck it, this is what we doing. We doing it." Because I'm the type of person. If I go do something, I'm doing it all the way. I'm gonna strategize, right? I'm gonna think out the whole process. But I'm also like, "Fuck it, what I gotta lose?" Like when I told you I was engaged, I could have went back and got my job. I was like, "Shit, what would that be fair to me?" It wouldn't be fair to her because I always be thinking about being an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
So I was like, shit.
Can't live for nobody else.
Yeah. Because they had been eating me all the resentment I probably would have had. Yeah. But, we always think that it's going to happen quicker. Like my mother was like, damn, I see you doing it now. I thought it was going to take you 10 years to get there. I said, damn, mama, you don't believe. But when I looked at it, to get to where we are now, to finally bringing in some real money, it took 6 years. So it's closer to 10 than 2. You know what I'm saying? So it takes a while. People just look over the fact that anybody, wherever they are, and how they got there to a successful level, it took time. We just think it happened overnight. But motherfuckers we've been cooking this point 16 years.
Right.
Just having cookouts and just having a good time, which it all started off as a good time. We just doing it so long and got so good. People like, oh, you should think about doing X, Y, Z.
Right. Which goes into a good topic. So what, in you all's opinion, what does it take for a person to be a successful business owner and restaurant operator in today's world?
Well, I'll start.
It takes a lot for the people out there that want to start a business.
So listen. You need a little bit, I ain't gonna say we perfect, but you need a little bit of everything we got, right?
Right.
I'm real good, I'm real nice. But sometimes people can walk over me because I'm super nice. So then you need a little bit of sternness.
To even it out.
And then you need a Swiss Army knife. If something breaks down, I might be like, whoa. He like, I seen this on YouTube. I can put that together right now. And it started blending in, and now we got a good thing. But I want to go back to a question that I didn't get the answer. And he was talking about it, but you want to have some people that care, like you. I don't know if he got to it yet, because I'll be in Washington Park location, and I walk past a piece of paper, right? And when I got home, I'm like, nobody go pick that up. If I don't go back and get it. Like if you see trash out there, you go see him sweeping it. And he ain't gonna be like, oh, no, I'm the boss or whatever. Because he care, you gotta get it. He's sweeping. He's, you clean up outside so when people come and pull up to Bolingbrook or Washington Park, they don't see this trash on there. Ain't nobody gonna care like you care. And I just wanted to get back on that part. Because when you need some people, now if we hiring, we want some people that's gonna be able to care like we care.
Yeah, actually put some work in.
You know, like I did a pop-up hoochie bash. And I didn't have them to help me and how they was making the tacos.
Right.
They was making it terrible. And I'm like, this is my name on it. Yeah. So I had to stop it and say, we gotta stop.
We need to regroup.
We can't just give these people anything. Yeah. You gotta make it how we make it at the restaurant or what make us different from anybody. Y'all just throwing the meat on there, doing whatever. You gotta make it how we make it at the restaurant so people respect it and they know how it's coming.
True. So what is just one piece of advice that we can go around that you will get to someone that is trying to open a food business, whether they might be a food influencer or want to be a restaurant owner like you all, but it's just one piece of advice that you will give?
If your heart not in it, because if your heart not in it, you shouldn't do it. Or to care. People just don't fucking care. Somebody once said like you go to Walmart. The employee like, oh no, you can't sit there, you can't do that. Oh, you act like you own the spot. When you own a business, you want your employees to act like they own the fucking spot. Because they gonna make sure that trash get up. They gonna make sure that trash ain't overflow. They gonna make sure motherfucker ain't stealing extra lamb chops. Thieves. Yeah. But they gonna care. But I will also say if you do start a business, you gotta empower your employees as well. Like it's a fine line that I walk with people that I bring aboard. Cause I need to know like what are their goals, right? Some people join the team because they want to be on a food truck or a trailer. And I'm like, I can help you get that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You help me, I help you get to where you want to go. Cause I know everybody don't strive to be a line cook. Yeah, cause I hate working the line. But so my goal was like, whoever I bring after me, like, let me know what you need, what you want to do, because I can help you get there. Like I'm bringing on people who want to start sauce companies, right? Or who they want to sell desserts, because I don't have a dessert vendor, bakers and stuff. But they gotta be real about like the industry as well. A lot of people like baked goods, hella oversaturated. A lot of stuff oversaturated, but baked goods is a hard category because whatever they bake, the shelf life is minimal, right? So they just be realistic with yourself and what you're trying to accomplish. Build the right team too. That's the hard part.
Right team. Sounds good.
I would say you gotta be resilient. If you believe in it, you gotta go for it. How many times you have somebody start something, they selling something for 3 months and then it's over?
Yeah, and they quit.
Well, let's just say a year and it's over. Like when the pandemic hit, we could have just folded up. He could have went back to work. I was already working. Yeah. Well, guess what? We pivot. You did something else. You keep figuring it out. And if you really want to do it, you're gonna figure it out. And you're gonna get it right. Yeah. So if you fail once, twice, or something don't go your way, don't just pack it up like, well, I don't do that no more. No, figure it out. This is what you want to do, because it's not gonna be easy. Everybody think you're gonna start a business, you just gonna take off and make this money. Mm-hmm. That sounds good. I thought Washington Park was just gonna go up.
Yeah.
I could have easily been like, man, we ain't make this amount of money in this time, man. I can't do it. No. We're gonna figure it out. Let's figure it out. You gotta keep going. You know, you gotta be able to pivot. You might have to tweak something. You might have to change directions, but you gotta figure it out if you wanna do it. You know, and that's the thing. You gotta see it through. So you gotta be resilient. You gotta believe in yourself. And just for an entrepreneur, you gotta believe in something nobody else believes in. Don't nobody believe in you. But you gotta know, like, this is what I want. I'm gonna get it. Don't nobody believe until you hear. When you selling no place, I ain't selling a place or whatever. However you doing it, whatever. Oh, but when you got 5 restaurants, dog, I knew you was gonna do it. Why you ain't about no plate? Matter of fact, you ain't even share my post. You know, don't think everybody gonna mess with you like that, because they not. It's gonna be the people you think are gonna support you not. Value the ones that do support you. Value the ones that support you.
Pour into the ones that pour into you, y'all.
And then it gets to a point where the people that's that are supporting you, your haters or people that didn't believe in you are gonna have to mess with you. I just seen people that complained, that said this and lied about us, but you in Atlanta's food now. Why? Because it's going viral. You gotta believe in yourself as an entrepreneur. You gotta believe when nobody else believes. You gotta believe. Faith of a mustard seed. And as he always say, brick by brick. Your foundation, you will get there.
Brick by brick. I like that.
All right, now I say, don't let one negative review. You gotta have thick skin. Because I will go through all the comments. Like right now, we're going viral. We at 700K. And that one comment will sit with me.
Yeah, can't hurt you.
And I will send it to them, and they'd be like, what about the other ones? But I'm like, this one is really bothering me today. I woke up, I want to fan them. Yeah, so you gotta have thick skin in the game. I would tell anybody trying to start a business.
That is some amazing advice. Thank you all for telling us that. And we're finna start wrapping it up. Let's get to the real nitty gritty, what everybody really want to know. What is you all's favorite dish on the menu? Each one.
I'll let them start.
You know, loaded fries for me. The reason I say loaded fries is because you go get all three sauces: the jerk sauce, the barbecue sauce, and the aioli. And then you go get those vegetables on top. So loaded fry for me.
Good.
For me, it really changes. It really changes.
So what is it right now?
Right now, I would say probably the pasta. The pasta, it's made with love. All the food is made with love, but the pasta is just like the process of making it, and then the taste of it. It's not just out the bottle sauce. We really make our own sauce for it, So it's like, I went somewhere else and I got a pasta. I'm like, man, this is horrible. They just took out the bottle, poured it on there, and put some seasoning on it. But it's really like, I don't know. It's like, for me, it's like it sets us apart. You get the lamb chops on top too. That's I'm thinking the pasta right now.
Pasta. The pasta is good. Mm-hmm.
Get that chicken sandwich just going viral on your local social media. It's a chicken sandwich. Get it.
Chicken sandwich. I like the chicken sandwich. So what is the top seller at each location? Chicago and Bolingbrook, what's the number?
Bolingbrook is chopped chicken. The chopped chicken dinners.
Oh, yeah.
And they love it. They love it.
And so what's the number one in Chicago?
Chicago right now. Right. Chicken, right now. We are selling out the chicken sandwich. Come there, come early. We sold 47 chicken sandwiches yesterday.
That was more yesterday.
Yeah, close to 60 almost. But yeah, the chicken sandwich top seller.
And so we eating a lot of chicken in Chicago, y'all. All right, so I just want to wrap it up. Thank you so much for speaking with me. This was amazing. I learned so much about being a restaurant owner and a business owner, just in general. Stuff I would have never have known had I not spoken with y'all today. So thank you so much.
No problem. No problem.
And let's tune in for another episode of Let's Go Esco. I'll be back. And until next time, keep eating, y'all. Bye.